Welcome to the shop. Wait. Wrong bay. Aha, RZR. Welcome back to the shop, everybody. I know it's been a minute since I've made any sort of video. I think it's about 2 years or so since I did a how-to, and about 3 years since my last ride video. I thought I would do a quick channel update. This isn't going to be quick. If you know me, I like long videos. So if you're new to the channel, I have a lot to say. I'm a very detail-oriented person. I talk a lot, and I wear a camera on my head. That's how I make videos. If you're an OG Razor's Edge member, then you know everything that's about to happen here, or at least the format of it. But yeah, I've been missing in action for a spell now. I want to give a quick update on where I've been and why, and where we're going from here. There's a lot that went on that I'm not going to go into detail about. Just a bunch of crap. You know how it goes. But there was also the added benefit that I began having some behavioral changes a few years ago, and didn't really understand at the time that anything with me was changing. I thought I was still the same, and everybody around me was you know, the problem. But after a while, I began to realize it wasn't everybody else, it was me. Something was going on, and I'd need to figure out what it was. So I went to the doctor and told him what was happening, and they gave me a checkoff sheet for depression symptoms. And I scored a 4 out of 10 on the sheet. So not severe depression by any means, but you know, not just, oh, I'm sad today kind of thing either. I guess the main parts of it was I wasn't really sad and down. Mine was more anger. Everything was making me angry. Somebody look at me funny, I get angry. Somebody say something wrong, or what I considered wrong. Just any little thing that just wasn't just perfect just made me just absolutely enraged, to the point where Hannah and Diana were both basically walking on eggshells around me, trying to keep the peace in the house. And I know that was horrible for them, and thank goodness that I realized before, you know, any damage was done, so to speak, that there was something going on with me. And like I said, I went to the doctor, and they prescribed me some antidepressants in the form of Paxil. At first, just a small amount, and I started taking it, and I immediately, I mean like within 2 days, began to feel much better. It took a little while for it to really balance out. And then I had a couple of dosage changes, you know, just over a span of about a year to get everything where it needed to be. But I am absolutely back to normal and feeling better than I have in a very long time, to be honest. I had lost complete interest in everything. I had really lost interest in making videos because it's a lot of work to begin with, and then when you just wasn't feeling like it, it just absolutely made it a chore, and I just couldn't do it anymore. I just had to give it up. I lost interest in all my gaming, my PC gaming that I love so much. And even riding. I mean, I was still going riding, still got a crew to ride with, thank goodness. The group has changed. I'll give you some information on them here pretty soon, but you guys that have been watching my videos haven't actually even seen the Razor's Edge group as it is now, unless you watched some of the other guys' videos on their channels. Almost everybody in the group has their own channel, and they make videos for it. So look down in the description. I'm going to put a link to everybody's channels in there. So you haven't been watching my videos, but you can go and watch Wade videos, and I'm in most of those, at least when he's in, you know, with us, and you know, he rides up in his hometown too, and does some stuff out there, but we'll be in, you know, in his videos, and then there's a couple other guys. But anyway, I'll go into that in just a minute. But basically, like I said, we were still riding, but it was to the point where I didn't even want to go. Like, it would be 2 days before we were leaving, and the RZR would still be sitting in the garage over stuck in a corner somewhere, covered in dirt from the last ride where I haven't even washed it off. Haven't done any maintenance on it, wasn't working on it. I would have fun when we actually went out and started riding, but and then even on the way home, like on the way home, I'd be like, I'm kind of glad I'm going home now. And then I'd get home and I'm like, glad to be back home. But I don't know why, because I wasn't doing anything. I mean, I could literally, there were days where I would sit on the couch and just not even have any desire to move. Like, there was nothing in this entire world that I wanted to do at that moment. The ironic thing is, back in the day, when I was younger, I actually would see depression commercials and stuff on TV, and I'd be like, oh, those poor people, they're sad. I was like, I thought those people were weak. I thought that they should be able to just basically muscle their way out of it and be like, yeah, you know what, I'm fine today. You know, you're alive, you have family, you have a home, you have nothing to be sad about. Well, it doesn't work that way. Brain chemistry, as it turns out, is a real thing, and it can really knock you on your ass. So I'm fully aware of that at this point. But yeah, I mean, we have still been riding. The group still is bigger and better than ever, to be honest. And we just got back from a ride from Royal Blue. It's actually been about I don't know, 3 weeks, a month now that we went. But I had a good time, and for the first time in several years, I actually filmed that ride. So I have the video, and I'm going to start making ride videos again, and I'm looking forward to it. But I wanted to get this new upgrade series done first. It's going to be a little weird because here I am doing an upgrade series. You've probably been looking around the shop while I've been jabbering, and you can see some of the goodness that's going on in this thing. But here I am doing an upgrade video, and then the next series of ride videos is going to look like it does right now, sitting there on the floor. It's just, you know, it's just going to have to be that way, because this I want to do before I do anything else. I'm super excited about what I got going on here, and super is kind of a key word, to be honest. Fish feeder's going off. Here's the fishies. They've been waiting on it. But anyway, as far as the group is concerned, Wade is obviously still a part. He was in the last ride series I made, Hatfield McCoy. He's one of the only people that actually showed up for that ride, which is kind of sad, but then again, it really worked out for the best. So Wade and his family are still in it. Right now, he's looking at adding another machine to the stable. He's still got his red 900 four-seater, but Sheena is now driving it a little bit, and she's going to basically be taking it over, and he's going to get a second machine, mostly just because he wants another one, but also because he needs 6 seats to ride him and his wife and all of his children. It's almost like a flock. Is that a thing, a flock of children? That's what he's got, anyway. And then there's old Wallace, Jeremy. I'm sure most of you know him as well. He's still riding with us. He does still ride with, we'll just say the old Razor's Edge group that's no longer part of Razor's Edge anymore. He still rides with them. They got their own group. They do their own little thing now, but they don't really have anything to do with me, and that's perfectly fine. Jeremy does, and we have a good time together. So anyway, yeah, we got Wade and Jeremy. There's also Justin. He has another 904. We have 3 904s in the group. His is a lot like this one. He's got the same tires. He's got beadlock wheels. He's got a lot of the same stuff. This one, he's got the snorkels, but the only difference is his is that like lime yellow color. He's got a few kids too, and he's got a full family, but I've only really seen 2 of his boys and 1 of his daughters. He has an older boy, Trey, that comes every once in a while. Really, really friendly fellow. I like it when he comes. He's so nice, but he don't come much. He'd rather be at work. He's one of those people, but you can't blame him for that. He needs to make some money. So, but his little boy, LJ, I'm assuming it stands for Little Justin. He's a mess. I think he's 7 now, but his daddy is an absolute superhero in his eyes. Little LJ is he's so proud of him, and I mean it's fun to watch. It really is, because he's like, my daddy can do this, my daddy can do this. Hey, you think your turbo can do this? Because my daddy can. I mean, he'll even embellish it a little bit. He's like, yeah, well, my daddy did that in 2-wheel drive. It's just that kind of stuff. But let's see, we also have Bobby and his wife Casey. They both drive. Bobby is one of the newer fellows to the group, the FNG as we like to call him, and I give that poor boy hell. I mean, I like him. He's so nice, and he's just real easygoing, and I would never tell him to his face, but he's one of my favorite people. The whole group is. Everybody in the group is just fantastic, but he's just one of my people that I just liked immediately when I met him. He's just that kind of guy. His wife's real sweet. They have 2 boys, and they have 2 machines. He's got a Turbo S, and she's got an XP, and they each drive, and they take one of their boys with them. And she actually laid it on its side for the first time this past ride. So I told her now she's gotten that one out of the way, she can start giving it hell. But they're great folks too. And then we have Jeff and June. They also both drive. They have 2 boys I know that have come. I'm not as familiar with the other one. The one boy that always comes with us is Aaron. I definitely know him. He had to drag me around half a Royal Blue with his high lifter when we went, because I made a mistake. I'll tell you about that later. It's not important to get into right now, but when I'm doing the ride videos, I'll tell you about what I did. It was dumb. It was so dumb. They have the high lifter, and then June has a new XP, but she wants a high lifter as well. She wanted one, but old Jeff, he's kind of cheap, and he saw a good deal, and he just couldn't pass it up, and he bought an XP just because it was a few thousand cheaper than the high lifter, and he has a new machine he's trying to sell. So look for his link down there. He's got some swamp videos. They like to ride in Florida. They like to ride in the mud. And then when they're not doing that, they come ride with us up in the mountains. We also have our newest group members is Rob and Stacy. Rob is actually a Brit. He's from Dover, and he met her playing Call of Duty, believe it or not. She was actually one of the top-ranked females in the country for Call of Duty, and used to be competitive at it. But anyway, he met her through that, and he ended up moving from Great Britain to Rocky Top, Tennessee, which I'm sure was a bit of a culture shock. But he loves it. He's actually been here. This ain't like a recent thing. He's been here a while, 10 years if I'm remembering correctly. But he's actually lost a bit of his accent. It's not quite as thick as you would imagine. But yeah, he loves it here. He's having a good time too. They got a really nice machine. It's red and black, and right now it's over in Alabama getting a cage put on it. But I'm actually going for a test ride Thanksgiving weekend here soon with all this new stuff on this thing to try it out, and they're going to be there, and of course I'm going to be filming that because it's going to be part of this series. So keep an eye out for that too. But they're also going to be in the Royal Blue videos. So but yeah, I think that's pretty much. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. That would be awful. We do have another guy that rides occasionally with us named George. He's a truck driver. He's on the road a lot, and he has some other friends that he rides with, and they spend a lot of time over in West Virginia riding Hatfield, especially during Trail Fest and stuff like that. But he hasn't been riding with us in a little while now. But he was in some of the older rides we did, which is unfortunate because I don't have video of that. Hopefully some of the other guys do. I know Wade does. But anyway, I guess that's pretty much it for me and the group. What I've got going here is what I'm going to call the Super ATV Upgrade Special, maybe. this is a whole round of Super ATV niceness that's about to go on here. Then if we bottom out on rocks now, then we're in somewhere we should not be, period. What we've got here is, number one, 35-inch Super Grip K9s. These are actually the stickies. It was time for something different, and then, you know, these do really good on the trails. They're not fantastic rock tires, especially wet rocks. And where you begin losing traction with that is because you don't have as much surface contact to the rock itself. So this is more rubber, more surface area, more contact patch, but it's still an aggressive trail tire. It's not one of those rock tires that looks like it should be on a Toyota somewhere riding down the road, you know, that packs up with the least bit of soft dirt gets near it. But anyway, I'm going to be running these on a 15x7 Raceline Rhino beadlock. These are 5+2 offset. And the reason I chose that specific offset, because you know, these are 4+4. These are 8-inch wheels, and they're offset 4 inches and 4 on the other side. I like offset wheels to make the machine wider, but I have these that's going to take care of that for me. These are Super ATV's 4-inch portals. They give you a 4-inch lift and also a 30% gear reduction, and this particular one is what I chose. So if you do the math, given the width of the portal and the 30% gear reduction, then with these 35-inch tires that actually measure out to about 34.5, as far as the RZR is concerned, from the motor all the way to the axles, the entire drivetrain is going to think it's back on its factory 27s. 30% gear reduction, built-in 4-inch lift, all in the wheel, no low-hanging hardware under the machine, no added articulation angles to the suspension or the running angle of the axles. Basically stock geometry, and the gear reduction is going to, like I said, bring it's actually going to have more pep and torque than it has now with these tires than it does with them little 29.5 Dirt Commanders, because of the gear reduction. And the axle is going to be included in that reduction. So I'm putting new axles. I'm putting Rhino 2.0s on here just because of the offset arms I'm putting on it. I'll explain that later in a few minutes. But I mean, honestly, I could run factory axles from here on out and not have a problem even with these things on it because of those portals. But the width of these is also going to push, 4 to 5 inches out each side. So the machine is going to be 8 to 10 inches wider. I've heard 5 and I've heard 4. I'm not sure because I've never put some on, so I don't know exactly where that's going to land. But this is a 60-inch RZR from the factory with the 5.2 offset. So right at the outside of the wheels, from side to side, at factory settings, it's sitting at 60 inches. Mine is actually about 64, 65 with the tires sticking out because of the 8-inch wheel that's offset 4 inches on each side. So that added some width to it. It's the reason the tires stick way out from where they were, and I had to put these on it because Lord, they sling some stuff inside. But with those, let's say they're 5 inches by the time you add the back plate and everything. 5 inches both sides, that's 10 inches. So with the 10 inches of additional width plus the factory 5.2 offset, you're going to have a 70-inch machine. So it is going to be taller. I'm going from 14 inches of ground clearance to about 24 inches. I actually kind of mocked it up a little bit and measured it to see where it was going to sit, just to get a look at it. Because, like I said, I've been planning this for a month. You just don't even know the work I've put into getting ready to do this. But, so my trailer, though, the rails of my trailer are 73 inches apart, so I didn't want it to be any wider than 72 max. So I figure with 68 to 70-inch width plus the rounded rubber sticking out the edge of the wheel, I'm going to be at about 72 out there. And that should still go in the trailer, but when you go high, you also got to go wider, and if you're in a 2-seater, you also need to go longer. But this thing's got the length, and it'll have the width, and it'll definitely have the height. You won't believe what a difference it makes. But along with the portals and those massive 35s, another thing I had to do was offset the arms. Now, when I first put these high clearance arms on this machine, these ORB ones, I did not want offset because, it's a 4-seater, it's long enough. I wasn't planning on getting any tires bigger than 30s, so I didn't need it. You go any bigger than 30 on a 900, and you're gonna start tearing it up. Just ask Jeremy. Anyway, so I didn't want to extend it, but now that I got those jokers on there, I definitely got to extend it. So what I did is I went with Super ATV's high clearance offset front and rear arms. And the reason I did these over the ORB specifically is these are more adjustable. The one thing you want to do with a portal razor is make sure that all your angles on your tires are 0. You want 0 camber, you want 0 toe. When it's at normal ride position or stance or whatever, you want 0 across the board. That way you put less running stress on all the components from the tire all the way up through the A-arms and into where they mount to the frame. Now, one thing about these ORB rear arms is when Justin was fabbing them up, he said that the factory ones had a positive rear toe out built into them. So he mimicked that on his design. So what I ended up with are the back tires are toed out. I'm assuming like the factory ones would be. I haven't had factory ones on here in so long, but I think over time with just wear and just stress and just whatever, that they're actually pointing out further than they used to be. We compared mine with Wade's. He's got the same arms, and his are toed out, but they're not toed out nearly as bad as these. I actually have 1.5 inches of toe out on these rear tires, and they're only roughly 30 inches around. So if this back tire is not pointing at the front tire, it's pointing like toward the axles over there. It's bad. So, but because these lower arms are not adjustable, I have no way of adjusting that out. So anyway, I decided to go with the Super because they have really good designs on their arms. I put these on Donnie's little 800 before a few years ago, and they have improved on them even since then, and they are really nice. They really are. But these actually came pre-installed with ball joints and the bushings. And these pivot blocks are set roughly about where you need them to be to get your alignment right to begin with, so you don't have to adjust it very much. These are the mid-range ball joints. They got some like factory replacements, and they got these HD, and then they got another grade even above these that are the strongest on the market. They're supposed to be stronger than even RCV's ball joints or Keller's or anybody's. Well, these are the mounting plates for the portals. These basically replace your outer hubs, knuckles and spindles and whatever else. These are some steering arms. In there I've got Super's upgraded tie rod kit too. So that'll be part of the install. And then brand new Rhino 2.0 axles. They have another series that's even beefier than these, but these are plenty for what I'm doing. And the main reason I wanted to redo them is, well, I tore up the 2 back ones trying to get them out of this machine. The tie rods, these tie rods have never bent. I've never had a problem with them, but looking at them now versus those tires and those portals and the extra grip and torque this thing's going to have, on the ground side, those tie rods begin to look a little thin. I guess it's about time to start wrapping this video up and get the freaking wrenches out. My goodness, how long have I been recording? An hour, 59 minutes. Wow. But you guys like the long videos, and like I said, I had 2 or 3 years worth of catching up to do. Tell you where I've been, and I'm back and going to ride. We've already got our April trip planned. I got Thanksgiving ride coming. So yeah, we're gonna be, and I can't wait. I actually can't wait. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping this up, and then I'm immediately going to just start recording part 1 of the series. And like I said, this will be sponsored video, and you know, I just my thankfulness to Super just cannot be overstated, because they really have come through, not only, like I said, the first time, but every time, and still are, even after all this time. So huge thanks to them, and I can't wait to start bolting all this stuff on, because I've already seen what it looks like, and man, it's ridiculous. It really is, but it's so awesome, so cool. One other thing about the channel, I'm glad I remembered this too, is the comments are gone. The comments went away, and I don't know why. I didn't turn them off. People thought I turned them off, but I did not. They just Google turned them off themselves. I don't understand why. Hopefully I can get them back on. So yeah, I'll do my best to figure it out so I can open the comments back up so we can talk some more, because like I said, I don't know what happened to them. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you're watching and you made it this far, I'm glad you're here, and let's try to get this thing back alive again and keep it going. To everybody that has still been subscribing even after all this time, and the new subscribers, thanks for being there too, supporting the channel, even though I haven't really been there, you know, doing my part. So, but yeah, let's get this video going. So, part 1 of the Super ATV upgrade spectacular. Now maybe that's what I'll call it. That's awesome. I like that. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do part 1 of that coming up next. In 3, 2, 1.